Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Transferware China Pottery Hauls. Here we are again, and this time I did what I promised. So today we have a large haul for you of glass. Imagine that. Just a few pieces of transferware. I could not help myself. We also have some costume jewelry, and guess what? I ended up getting it. So as I've been complaining in every video previous to this one that I needed to get a black UV light that was $3.95, right? So the $3.95 is to show us that there's uranium in the glass. And then the $3.65 will show us if there's like manganese or cadmium or different other types of metals introduced to the glass. And believe it or not, this 3951, which is for the uranium glass, will not glow unless there's uranium in the pieces. And I finally got it. I purchased it and it came in faster than what I thought. So let's begin. I'm very excited. Like I've said to you, I've been doing some researches and I've been looking forward to adding some glass to our store. So, oh, this piece is, I didn't realize that piece had been damaged. Interesting. But anyways, let's begin. All right. Sorry about the distraction. ADHD, it's in the way. Let's start with the pieces here in the back. And then let me get all the glass out of the way. So we first have this beautiful vintage Bohemian hatched piece of glass, right? And this is purple flushed onto the crystal. Now this is not an antique. Beautiful polished bottom. And it's unsigned. Really, really nice piece. I think I'm going to be listing this for about $54.95. It's very, very heavy, no chips, cracks, or repairs. I fell in love with the contrast and the etching of this beautiful piece. So, excuse me as I bend down to drop things out of the way so we don't break anything. Then ended up also getting this beautiful signed purple glass vase from Fenton, hand painted, and the signature is right there, and you see the marking on the bottom here that says Fenton. That means it was produced after 1971. This is right before they went out of business. It's absolutely stunning. I love this large piece. Now let me show you how the lights work, the black lights. So this is the $3.95, and as you guys can see, absolutely the glow on this is pretty much just a reflection that you've seen of me using the light. So there's no uranium in this glass. When you flash the $3.65, you see all of that green. That means that this glass is loaded with manganese, which is a metal that's introduced into the glass. So I can share with you this today because I got it in. And there we go. Nice Fenton piece. So our eBay store is Transferware China Pottery on eBay. And I apologize, I've been running behind about 3 weeks. I just have not been able to keep up with all of the stuff that's coming in and processing it, etc., etc., etc. And at the same time taking care of my 2 other offices has been a bit overwhelming for me. And it's right before the holidays. I wish I could have all of this listed for you before Christmas, but I doubt it because there's so much on top. There's like 3, 4 ginormous tables here full of stuff. So anyways, let's move on forward, but I promise I'm going to get this stuff listed. I got this beautiful Burmese Fenton piece. Also all hand painted. And there's the signature on the bottom, the person who painted it. Really nice piece of glass. It's like in a satin feel. Now, does this one glow? Let's take a look. No glow with a 395, and then no glow with the 365. So that is that for this. Then moving forward, I have this fantastic compote. Now, I think this is Tiffin glass. I've done some research. Tiffin glass started in 1889. I'm sorry, 1889. That's when they first started, when they merged with another American glass company. And they were trying to produce pieces that resemble Bohemian Mosher glass from Czechoslovakia. Okay? Very, very nice piece. There's also no uranium in this, but there's a lot of manganese. So this is a 365 lamp right here. It's a beautiful etched, has the basket pattern with the florals coming out, which is absolutely beautiful. What a nice, beautiful piece to put your bonbons in, or holiday sauces. It's very, very nice. It looks very elegant on a table. So I had to grab this piece. Then found this beautiful piece of etched crystal. This is a beautiful piece of etched crystal here. It's an oil lamp, and I'm keeping this one for myself. This is not an antique, but it's super well made. So this was made by the Bombay Company. Bombay and Company was very, very popular in the 80s and 90s, and then they went out of business. They were sold in the malls, but the quality of this product is unbelievable. Bombay made extremely high quality pieces. Very, very heavy cast and very, very beautiful etched piece of glass. And so is the top part here. You can see that it's very, very nice. Never used. I'm going to add this one to my personal collection just because it's always good to have one of these around. You never know when you're going to need the old-fashioned stuff. So I'm going to bring this down here. Then I ended up grabbing these beautiful vintage Westmoreland ruby flashed goblets. These are very, very lovely. This is the diamond point pattern. Okay. Also got this beautiful Dugan. It's a nice rare one. Carnival glass with the opalescent border. Very nice piece of carnival glass. I think this is from circa 1900. Definitely an antique piece of carnival glass. If I'm not mistaken, this is about 10 inches. I think this is about 10 inches. Oh, my apologies. It's an actually 11-inch bowl. So that's even better because the bigger sizes are very, very difficult to find. Glass, glass, glass. Today I did it. I promised you. You know what? Probably because I couldn't find any transferware this time. That's why I ended up grabbing all this glass. So then after, I ended up finding this beautiful piece. I think this is from the 1930s. Lemonade jar. It's very, very heavy. It's absolutely stunning. And I wanted to show you how interesting this is. So this piece here has a couple of nips on the inner rim of the lid, but that doesn't distract from its value much because, you know, it has its lid. A lot of them have lost their lids. So it's a great example. There's no other trips or any issues with it. But it's a great example from 1930s. You can do lemonade, you can do your juice, you can do, it's beautiful, thick, well-made glass, which you don't find that today too much. Now let's use the 395 and point it out. And as you can see, it glows on the handle. So the handle is pretty much no glow on the body, right? So the handle is definitely uranium glass. The body has very, very little glow, so most likely no uranium in it. Is pretty much manganese. So then you flash the 365 on it and you see that glow right away. So uranium on the handle, manganese on the body itself. Okay. We got this here. Okay, let's move on forward. Let me see. So I have also this beautiful etched olive oil or vinegar decanter with the 2 applied colors and the etched on there with a wheat pattern, probably mostly like the 1930s. These patterns were very popular in the 1930s. And there's some little roughness on the bottom of the stopper, but it's not cutting. It's pretty smooth, so very, very nice. Unfortunately, I only have one. And there's a lot of wear on it where people really cleaned it really well on the inside, and they probably used something abrasive. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's a very, very lovely piece. Very nice piece of glass from the 1930s. Let's keep on going with the glass. So next, I have this beautiful etched gold bowl with a gold florals on it inlaid in there. Very, very nice piece of glass. And this is made by New Martinsville glass from the 1950s. These were very, very popular. They used to do like the wedding baskets. They used to do all kinds of wedding stuff. You could have your the 25th anniversary or your monogrammed putting in these. I absolutely love them in the gold. It just makes it so beautiful. I think there's manganese in this one as well, as you can see. There's no uranium, so when you flash this, there's absolutely no reaction to that, only flashes purple. Okay, so that is that with this one. 1950s. Then I have an antique piece pitcher and 4 goblets. One I see from here in the beginning of the video, I noticed there was a little crack on it, but it's smooth, so it's not it looks like a manufacturer flaw, to be honest with you. And this is an antique pressed glass, hand enameled with a gold border pitcher, and this is its goblet. These used to come with 8 or 12, but I only have 4. Very, very nice pressed glass. Very nice American glass. And here we are again. So as you see, not a lot of reaction from the uranium light. And then when you flash this one, there's the manganese all over this piece. So very nice on this. Today's so chilly. I tell you what, very, very chilly day. It's the first time this fall. I absolutely love a cup of coffee. And if you're wondering, I don't drink caffeinated coffee. I drink decaf coffee. I love the taste of coffee. So I buy this organic brand from Stop and Shop. And I use imported Portuguese milk from the islands of the Azores. That's how I like my coffee. I figured I would share that with you. Not that it matters, but I figured that I would share that with you. So moving forward, I also got this beautiful etched piece of glass covered dish. I absolutely love these. I don't think these are from the Depression era. I did some research on this piece. Very, very thick, well-made glass. I believe that this is from the 1950s. 1950s etched. So if you know any information about this, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Then I ended up picking up also these two beautiful pieces of Depression glass in green, and it's got this beautiful etched design on it, no chips, cracks, or repairs. Now, not every time that it's green, it's uranium glass. This is not uranium glass. This is Depression glass. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the test. So this is the uranium light. See? No glow to it, okay? But when you go ahead and do the 365, it's loaded with manganese, and it glows just the same. So there's no uranium in this, okay? So a lot of times, if in your cabinets you have certain light bulbs are going to be different. Certain black UV lights are going to be different on the metal that's in this particular set of glass. Okay, ended up getting this beautiful signed paperweight. Isn't that stunning? And everyone is always like, oh, clear glass, another clear glass. This is actually crystal. It's very, very heavy. And it's signed Steuben. This is Steuben glass. Steuben glass. Very, very nice piece. Polished bottom. What else do we have for glass? Oh, I think I felt something here flying around me. Okay, so for the glass, no, we got one more piece that almost escaped me. I tell you what, do you know how many pieces I put on this? Oh, it is something. There's like a little fly here or something. I apologize for that. It is winter time. It's 40 degrees outside. So I ended up also, I almost skipped this, like I was saying. And a lot of times I put pieces on the table, then I forget to show them to you. I did some research on this beautiful pink Tibet piece of glass. I usually don't buy these, but the reason I bought this one, it's because of its beautiful, that beautiful dragon dolphin handle, which is so unusual, and it's large edge florals on this beautiful piece of glass. So Westmoreland kind of owned this patent were the ones who created this patent. So I would like to believe that this is Westmoreland glass, probably from the 1930s. And so if you know anything about this, please comment down below and let me know if this is what I'm thinking it is. I'm going to do some extra research on this piece. That's for sure. That's why I grabbed it, the handle and the etching on it. If they're plain, I tend not to grab them because there's so much of it out there. Although they're beautiful pieces, I tend not to grab those. So for glass, it's all. Then we're going to go on to the porcelain. And of course, I got some blue and white. And I didn't even pay attention, but I put all the blue and white on this side and then all the other stuff on this side. So let's start with this beautiful piece of blue Transferware. Now, this is not an antique. It's an antique pattern that was introduced in 1820. It's the botanical pattern. This is a beautiful charger plate. You can either put your dinner plates on top of it, or you can serve cookies or food or anything you want on these. They're very, very well made by Spode. Lovely, lovely, lovely piece of blue and white. Had to grab it. Also came across this gorgeous beauty. Look how stunning this piece is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. No chips, no cracks, no repairs, no crazing. Now, this would be the water pitcher. So on the video before this one, I showed you a picture that was large but slightly shorter than this one. Let me see if I can find where it is. Okay, so here it is. So here's the difference. Slightly shorter, and the neck is taller, and length is lengthier and thinner. So this would have been a water pitcher that would have had a bowl. This one, on the other hand, would not have a bowl. So a lot of times we encounter these inside of bowls, but they're not the original pitchers. Yes, so most of the times, 99.9% of the times, this is what they would be. Unfortunately, I don't have the bowl. It doesn't distract from its worth. There's a little bit of wear on the bottom, which is very, very typical. And this is the merino pattern by Longport. Very, very rare pattern. And before we move on to more blue and white, I ended up also pulling this beautiful historical Staffordshire book that I'm going to talk about at the end out for you guys to see how great these old books are for references. Then ended up getting about 63 pieces of this beautiful blue and white. And this is the Coaching Scenes, very, very rare coffee pot. And this is by Johnson and Brothers, and is highly collectible. This pattern is, people want it, okay? So every time I sell this on my eBay store, it does not last long. I have quite a bit of it. And actually, the last time that I acquired a big set like this from this piece, I had a bunch of crazed, stained, and chipped pieces that were decent for display. And I set it aside and I said to myself, let me not dispose of these. Let me put them on eBay for a very low amount and see if people buy them. It was about 13 pieces. Well, I sold them for $34.95. So you think because it's chipped crazed, it doesn't have any value. Not true. Some pieces do sell even though they are damaged. Someone, they can't afford higher end, like the pieces being in mint condition, and they're putting it into the cabinet display. They're not using them. There you go. So you pay $13 for shipping for all of those pieces, and then you got all of those pieces for $34.95. It was 13 pieces, which is very reasonable. And they displayed very well because a lot of times the shipping is on the back. And there's also this beautiful sugar and creamer. I forgot to take that little thing out of it. That goes with it. I have dinner plates, bread plates, dessert plates, cups and saucers, bowls. Very, very nice. And if they're not chipped, they're not chipped, cracked, or crazed, you can still use those. It's okay to use those. Very desirable pattern. Another beautiful. Oh, before I forget, let me get to this gorgeous set of platters. I ended up getting 6 of these. Very, very stunning. So this was Johnson Brothers, early 1900s. So they would produce these for restaurantware. I have about 6 platters. And this is the Valencia lace pattern. It's like in a gray transferware. And I tell you what, this gray transferware, very, very difficult to find. Not too much of it. And there's the marking on the bottom there. I do have 6 of these, so I will be listing these one and then times 6, so you can purchase as many as you'd like. Nice, nice piece. A bowl, the same pattern of serving bowl sold for about $65 not that long ago on eBay. And I'm going to let those go for a little bit less for sure because I had a good deal on those. Then we have this beautiful, also spode little dish. So this would be like a nut dish, or to put like a bone dish. That's what this would be. It's a reproduction from spode. I love these. So my dining room table is all reproduction spout. All the antique stuff is in the cabinets. It's in the walls. And then I use the reproductions to serve in. They're very, very safe. These are still made in England. And it's the Georgian series Girl at the Well, 1822. I do have an antique piece of blue and white in this to show you. So I have this Girl at the Well, and this is 1800s or 1820s. Same pattern from Spout. This is a beautiful turkey platter. This one is not listed. It's in my personal collection. You see there how gorgeous that is. Same exact pattern, but you see the difference in the blue. So, very, very nice piece of blue and white. Turkey platter is hard to find, especially in this size. It's in excellent condition. That piece has no chips, cracks, or repairs or crazing. I would still not serve from those. Then after I got some Spout as well. Now this is a beautiful spoon rest. And this is the Gloucester. Look at the pattern on that. Now this piece is older than this piece. Okay? And this is a spoon rest where your spoon would go right there on it. Isn't that lovely? I also have one of these in my kitchen. I absolutely love to put my spoons on these. And then we ended up also getting at this lovely place, this early 1800s soft paste, hand painted sugar bowl with a lid. Now it's heavily stained and crazed. I tell you what, don't dispose of these pieces. This is how people decorate a lot of the country shabby chic look, a lot of stain crazed pieces. They get those beautiful roughed cabinets and then they just display these gorgeous pieces that are stained and crazed. Very, very nice piece. In terms of, okay, let me follow with the blue and white. I'm all over the place here. I ended up getting this beautiful late 1800s Oriental blue transferware pattern. I got about 100 pieces on this. Very, very nice. That pattern does very well online as well. A lot of collectors for it. And I have a bunch of platters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platters in all different sizes. Now this was produced for a little bit. This is late 1800s. Let me show you how many of these I have. So I have about 100 pieces, including a covered dish. Very, very nice. Trying to show you a large platter without breaking anything. This stuff is heavy. How lovely is that beautiful piece of blue and white? I particularly love to collect this color. It just looks so good on the walls. And for blue and white, that was it. Now, to finalize, there are some porcelain pieces I would like to share with you. I ended up getting this beautiful teapot, coffee chocolate pot from Kaiser, Germany. Very, very nice 2 pieces of porcelain. I couldn't pass those, the price was right. Ended up getting this beautiful double-handled cup and saucer Dresden. Now, there's a little, it's not really a repair because it doesn't show any damage on this side at all. It's a stress mark of a line on the cup. And this is how you can tell. So this was done during manufacture. If this had been a repair, there would be an obvious repair on this side, but there isn't. So in order to see that it's repaired, take one of these to the stores, okay? And you can see if things are repaired or not. But make sure that it's not an area that the glaze is too thick because it will also glow. So be careful. A lot of times it's not damaged. It's just a lot of glaze on that specific area that makes it glow more. So when I go in like this, do you see that little shine there on that piece? It's a stress line right across that border. Sorry, I can't seem to make it focus. You cannot see it until you flash the light on it. There you go. See it glowing? So it's because the glaze has penetrated underneath the piece and created that little stress line right there. But as you can see, no repair on the outside whatsoever. It would be noticeable because when we flash the light on the outside, no issues. Okay? Very, very interesting. I think it flaked from the inside. Very nice. Now, it's a Dresden piece, so it's marked Dresden. It's got a fainted crown on the bottom with the Dresden, so this is an original Dresden piece. And it has the saucer. Very nice shape. Saucer piece. Lovely. Displays beautifully. Ended up finding this beautiful hand-painted mason cup. I do not have the saucer, and that's the mason porcelain there. Now for Europeans, so Chinese invented the porcelain and they produced it for over 1,000 years. Europeans started producing porcelain in the early 1700s, and mason was the first to produce beautiful porcelain. This is not a transferware. This is a hand-painted piece of porcelain. I absolutely love the handle on it. So I grabbed it because you never know who has a saucer at home. It's a very nice pattern. Then also ended up getting, I'm making this video too long. I hope not. That's okay. So I ended up getting this beautiful transferware set. And I tell you how I acquired. So I acquired this online. And this is the frustration from dealing with things online sometimes. And things do happen. I make mistakes all the time. Okay. But when I make a mistake, I try to do right by the buyers because I want you to come back to my store. This is the basics of everything. I'm so passionate about this stuff. If I receive something that's not as described, I'm going to try to let you know. I did let the person know for the set came separate. The cups and saucers came separate from the sugar bowl and the creamer. Now, this is Rockingham Works Pottery. It's an English pottery. Very, very rare yellow transferware with a black transferware. They used high quality porcelain. And there's an old sign right there on the bottom saying it's Rockingham Works Pottery. And that's what it is. I'm not sure of the pattern because there's not a lot of information on this particular potter. They were only in business for a few years. So I believe a couple of decades, if I'm not mistaken, from the beginning of the 1800s, like to 1820s. So, and I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's as much as I gotten out of, doing a little bit of research. But unfortunately, when I received the cups, the person sent me the cups. 2 cups were cracked. And the description said no chips, cracks, or repairs. And in the pictures, there was no signs of the crack. So I'm very disappointed. I contacted the person. The person was not very friendly, tell you what, which is very unfortunate. I don't believe in leaving bad karma or negative feedbacks to anybody, which I don't recall doing that on eBay ever. But I will not shop from you ever again because you're not describing things properly. Now, you've made a mistake the first time. Okay, fine. Those arrived first. It could have been that you did not you could have overseen it. I completely understand that. I respect that because that's happened to me before. But of course, right away I reply to my clients all the time and I go, what can I do for you? This is how I do things. I don't take upon myself to decide for a disappointed customer. The customer that's disappointed is the one who decides. Okay? Of course, accordingly to the rules and regulations of things. We also don't need any type of issues with clients. We want them to return. Okay. So then I received a sugar bowl and the creamer. Isn't that a beautiful piece? Stunning piece. That on the description had little flakes on the inner part of the bowl. Fine, that was on the description. I completely accepted that. You know, for me, these things don't matter to me as long as they are, decently described. But then it said no repairs. And there's lots of repairs. You see that piece glowing right there? That's a repair. You see those pieces glowing all over the rim? See all of that glowing? What doesn't glow is the porcelain. What glows are all repairs. This is obviously repaired in like 4 or 5 locations. As you can see how dark the repairs are. And look at the repair on this end. Right there. Obviously not shown in pictures. So, long story short, please research your stuff. Use these lights to check if there's any repairs on these porcelains. Because it's disappointing. I did not get back to the person about these 2 items that came at a separate package. I decided not to. It was best for me just to walk away and just see. I mean, the pieces is still, just see what I'm going to do with these items. The pieces is still very, very valuable since Rockingham Works Pottery was not in business for a long time. And it's a 2-color transfer, and those are valuable, very valuable pieces. So I did get a good deal on them, but you can tell that it's automatically repaired as soon as they open the package. But anyways, moving on from that. So then my last piece of porcelain to you is this stunning piece of Limoges, Theodore Limoges, Evelyn Limoges. Look how beautiful this turkey platter is. And we all know the season is here. It's Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited. So happy Thanksgiving with all the blessings and the good things for your family. And this is a stunning piece of Limoges. I grabbed this piece because of the size. I don't have any issue shipping large items. I just shipped a urn that the box was 36 inches in height. So, don't mind shipping them. I triple box stuff, I double box stuff, and I insure all my items. So, shop with confidence at Transferware China Pottery on eBay. Then, last but not least, so another acquisition that I've had in my collection for a while is historical Transferware, Staffordshire, Transferware, Staffordshire. Isn't that a beautiful book? These books are available on eBay. They have loads of patterns and informations on here. Look how stunning these books are on the inside. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And it will give you reference of the companies, which were a lot of them that were in business for quite a bit of time. And these historical pieces, most of the times, these historical pieces of porcelain were made for the American market. So you find a lot of the presidents on there, and you find a lot of historical figures that have had patterns named after them, which is very, very nice as well. Nice book. These books were by Jeffrey B. Snyder, and he put out quite a bit of books, and I have a lot of them. I'm always looking for them. Don't pass them by. If you find them at a good price, get them. They're wonderful, wonderful reference books. Okay? So, for today is all, and this is at 40 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. It's been I had quite a bit of information here to give you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If I don't get to do a haul before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, that you find yourselves with health, at peace, okay, and together as families. And if you happen to be by yourself, you know what? You turn on that YouTube. There's beautiful things out there for us to watch, and enjoy yourself, your pets. Happy Thanksgiving, and until next time, thank you for watching.